Now called to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a roll call, please.
Hey, Mr. Person.
Here.
Mr. Prince.
here.
Mr. Corman.
Here.
Mr. Pavoni.
Here.
Ms. Perez.
Here.
Mr. McIrvin.
Here.
Ms. Switchy. Roll call, Mr. Mayor, one absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Prince.
I move we excuse the absent council member.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Mr. Corman, that we excuse Councilmember Ritchie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, first item is some proclamations, or a proclamation.
Okay, well, we're going to start with, let's do Renton Heart Month. Renton Heart Month, whereas heart disease continues to be the leading cause of death in the United States and affects men and women of every age and race, and whereas someone in the United States dies from cardiovascular disease every 38 seconds, and whereas the chance of developing coronary heart disease can be reduced by taking simple steps to prevent and control certain factors that put people at greater risk, and whereas Renton Heart Month serves to increase public awareness of the importance of fighting cardiovascular disease by developing good eating habits, being physically active, and taking advantage of preventative screenings, and whereas being aware of the warning signs of a heart attack or stroke and knowing what to do may help save a life, all Renton residents are encouraged to learn how to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation, which is CPR, and use an automatic external defibrillator, AED. Now, therefore, I, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim February 2019 to be Renton Heart Month and encourage all residents to increase their awareness of cardiovascular disease detection and prevention by participating in the important community risk reduction campaign, and witness whereof I've hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed in February 2019, signed Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Prince.
I move the proclamation be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Mr. Pavoni, that this proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. So we have Chief Rick Marshall here to receive this proclamation.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and esteemed members of the council, thank you very much. On behalf of Renton Regional Fire Authority, which is the City of Renton's fire department, we want to express our deep gratitude for recognizing this event again this year for us. Again, this is really about the Regional Fire Authority partnering with the community to help create a greater sense of awareness of healthy habits, and doing things like monitoring some of the big killers for our community, which among them are heart disease, high blood pressure, and blood sugar issues. So this again is a year where we're partnering primarily with our schools as it relates to education and monitoring of blood pressure and blood sugar, as well as healthy habits for eating and exercise. In addition to that, though, this year we are bolstering our instructional programs for CPR and AED first aid in our community, and we're actually moving to a web-based system and partnering with some of the other regional departments, fire departments throughout the south end of King County to deliver a higher level of service and hopefully create greater opportunities for our community to get this vital training. So again, on behalf of the Fire Authority, thank you for assisting us in recognizing this for our community.
Thank you, Chief.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, next, I believe we have Garland Jewelers Day. Whereas the City of Renton celebrates and supports our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. whereas it is important for people to support the small businesses that they value in their community, and whereas Garland Jewelers has one of the oldest business licenses in the downtown area, issued on March 18, 1953, and whereas Garland Jewelers has operated in the same downtown Renton building since 1954 and is a memorial of the almost bygone era, and whereas Garland Jewelers has been one of the few independent jewelry stores to survive an industry that is essentially dominated by large chain stores located at the malls, and whereas Gary Slotnick has kept the family tradition of selling, repairing, and appraising fine jewelry alive since the purchase of the store from his father, Jack Slotnick, in 1985. And whereas Garland Jewelers is in downtown Renton, has made the decision to close its doors after 65 years under Slotnick ownership. And whereas the legacy of Garland Jewelers and the dedication of the Slotnick family to the vitality of the downtown Renton are worthy of recognition for their contributions to the community. Now therefore, I, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim February 11, 2019 to be Garland Jewelers Day in the City of Renton, and I encourage all citizens to join me in the special observance and witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 11th day of February 2019. Signed, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Person.
I move the proclamation be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr. Prince, that this proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Is Gary here?
No.
Shame on him.
Oh,
We'll make sure to get that to him.
all right. And then we have one final for tonight. It's the National Children's Dental Health Month. All right, whereas the future is, to a large measure, dependent on the good health of our children and families, and whereas good health can be achieved in part through good dental habits and oral health care learned early and reinforced throughout life, and whereas good oral health contributes to better nutrition, improved ability to concentrate, and improved school attendance. And whereas the City of Renton is dedicated to a strong commitment to all our children in our community through many early childhood and school programs, and whereas National Children's Dental Health Month is celebrated each February in order to raise awareness about the importance of good oral health, and whereas last year the Center for Pediatric Dentistry at the University of Washington School of Dentistry welcomed children from throughout Washington for free preventive dental care at an event called Give Kids a Smile that included an oral exam, teeth cleaning, x-rays, and fluoride application, and the center hopes to hold such an event this year as well. Now therefore, I, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim February 2019 to be National Children's Dental Health Month in the City of Renton, and I encourage all citizens to join me in this special observance and witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this day in February 2019. Signed, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Person.
I move the proclamation be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr. Prince, that this proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, we had one other for National Black History Month, and I believe that's going to be postponed as the recipient couldn't make it tonight.
Yes, thank you. Okay, moving on to a public hearing.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. President, and council members. My name is Amanda Askren. I work in the Community and Economic Development Division, and tonight I'm here to present a public hearing on the WashDOT acquisition at the 44th interchange with 405. There's a beautiful picture where it's located. The background is that WashDOT is planning to provide improvements on 405 from SR 167th all the way to Northeast 6th in Bellevue. It's going to be doing the express toll lanes. The project is currently out for bids on the design build, and the focus of this one, maybe more coming down the road, but this one is the Northeast 44th interchange. This information and the request for the acquisitions was brought to you in April of last year through an agenda bill and an interlocal agreement, but this is just to formalize the acquisition part of it. There is one property acquisition, which is 45,225 square feet. It is located east side of 405 on the May Creek property. shown in this lovely shade of green up here. We purchased this property in 2015 with King County's Conservation Futures Levy. So we've owned it for a couple years, and then the right-of-way take, like I said, was 45,225 square feet, and then we still have 276,000 remaining. So we're pretty good there. The compensation was set at $20,000 for that acquisition. Due to the original funding source, $10,000 of that, which is equal to 50%, would need to be provided back to King County due to the funding that we got through the grant. The other piece of property is on the west side. On the other piece that we acquired last year, the May Creek area. This is just a temporary easement. We acquired it in December 2017. The temporary easement's 2,878 square feet. Compensation is set for $1,000. It's a temporary easement, as stated. The easement would terminate within 5 years of construction, commencement of construction, or December 31st, 2029, which seems really far away. Whichever date occurs first. So the staff recommendation is that the mayor and the city clerk to execute the WashDOT documentation that we have for the temporary construction easement and the warranty deed for the right-of-way take, authorize accepting the compensation from WashDOT, and then the disbursement of funds to King County after we get our money, of course. So as I said, the next step would be to sign the documentation, accept the funding, and then give them their money. Sorry, I was trying to hurry.
Thanks, Amanda. Any questions from council? Okay, this is a public hearing. Did anybody want to testify on this?
Mr.
Nobody
Mayor?
signed up as a wish of the council.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
I move
McGurven.
we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. McGurven, seconded by Mr. Pavoni that we close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks, Amanda. Okay, moving on to administrative report.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening. We have a few items this evening. As the clerk mentioned, we were originally planning on having a proclamation for Black History Month on the first meeting of February, and that got canceled due to the snow. And unfortunately, we were going to do it tonight, and our participants can't attend this evening, again, due to the weather. But I did want to call attention to a couple items that were in the proclamation for events that are occurring as a result of Black History Month later this month. And the first is the Renton Highlands Library and Fairwood Library are hosting virtual tours of Renton's African American historical sites on February 21st and February 27th at 7 p.m. The second item is that the Renton African American Pastors Association is honoring Black History Month with a program called Realizing the Dream, which is a special event with speakers, drama performance, and a panel dialogue on February 28th at 6 p.m. at the Sky Center. Second item, the city's severe weather shelter, which has been being used the past few days, will be open through Wednesday, February 13th. The shelter will be open daily at 8 p.m. and close the following morning at 7 a.m. Shelter is located at the old Chamber of Commerce building, which is at 300 Rainier Avenue North in Renton. All are welcome and must register at the door to be able to enter the facility. You can contact the Crisis Clinic by dialing 211 to access shelter information. Let's see. Unfortunately, the way the storms have worked out for those people who have garbage and recycling collections on Mondays, they got missed the last 2 weeks. So we appreciate their patience with us and want to just give an update on that. So for those individuals that had their garbage or recycling carts missed on Monday, February 4th and Tuesday, February 5th, those carts will be collected at their next scheduled collection day, Monday, February 18th, and Tuesday, February 19th. Customers may set out double amounts of the garbage at no charge, and recycling organics also in unlimited amounts year-round. Garbage and recycling carts missed on Monday, February 11th, will be collected on Saturday, February 16th, and weather permitting. Organic parts will be collected on the next scheduled collection day on Monday, February 18th. I may need to clarify that. So next week, Monday and Tuesday, regular collection days. On Saturday, there's special pickup that they'll be going out and making sure they get those collections if you got missed on that last week. Some tips in terms of putting out extra garbage. Put that extra garbage in a plastic bag. or in your own garbage can or sturdy container with a lid and put next to your garbage can. Put extra recycling in a paper bag, cardboard box, or better yet, a sturdy plastic tub labeled recycle, and set that next to your recycling cart. In terms of food waste, you can put that in your organics cart. Extra yard waste, including downed tree limbs, may be placed inside the organics cart or placed in a craft paper yard waste bag set next to the organics cart. And we know and realize that missed collection can be frustrating, and we sincerely do appreciate all the residents' understanding and patience as Republic and the city continue to work through the winter weather together. And just a couple more items. One is just a reminder, if you're interested in serving on a Senior Citizens Advisory Board, those applications are due and must be received by 5 p.m. on February 15th, 2019. They can be found on the city's website. And lastly, there's a lot of water sitting on the ground around us here in the city. And the concern is with rain in the forecast and warmer weather forecast for later this week, that there may be some localized flooding. So be cognizant of that. If you're aware or see any storm drains that appear to be plugged, please notify the city of Renton, and we will go out and respond to that. And continue to be safe out there. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Bob.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Person.
I think we missed a step on the public hearing. So I'll take the,
In terms of action,
yeah.
it's coming up.
Oh, okay.
There's a
We've got
committee report.
resolution.
Okay, but don't we have to pass this as a motion first, or just a resolution?
I don't think we have.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
so Transportation and Aviation Committee has a committee report that does just
Oh,
what Mr.
okay.
Person is
Okay.
asking.
I didn't, I'm looking at what, the
No
way we
problem.
normally do stuff, and I says, gosh.
Okay. All right, moving on to the consent agenda, we have 9 items for council consideration. Are there any items Councilmember like pull?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes. Prince.
I'd like to pull item E.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I'd like to pull item F.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
And Mr. Person.
I'd like to pull item C.
Okay. Mr. Person.
Oh. Mr. Mayor, this was on.
We'll need a
No,
motion.
motion
on the
to
floor
con-
for the consent agenda.
Oh, I make a motion to accept the consent agenda minus the items.
C, E, and F.
I forget the number.
C,
E and F.
C, E, and F.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Mr. Person, seconded by Mr. Corman to approve consent agenda minus items C, E, and F. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So this was really just a technical fix, so we wanted to go council concur with item E. So I move that we go council concur with item E.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Prince, seconded by Mr. Corman that item E of the consent agenda be approved by council. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Pavoni.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, this item has to do with the sign shop. There's been plans for years to expand it, and the time has finally come. The expansion of the sign shop and the new technology is going to allow the city to actually bring a lot of the sign building in-house and save the citizens quite a bit of money. And with that, I'd like to move that the council approve the funding and authorize the mayor to sign the contract.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, seconded by Mr. Prince that item F of the consent agenda be approved by council. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yes, have it. Mr. Person.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Oh, I can hardly speak.
I know the feeling.
I want to move to amend the resolution adopting policy 800-12 to delete the portion of subsection 4.1.1 after $300,000 and to present it for reading and adoption tonight.
Second.
Okay, this is on item C, right?
This is item C, this is the
Yes.
how much money
On
you.
contracting.
Contracting
How much
authority.
money we're gonna let you spend at a time, you know?
Okay. So it's been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr.
Corman.
That council make the change, that Mr. Person just articulated on item C.
I got it. Yeah. We're good.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You guys have it. Okay, was that it? I think that was it. Let's move on. Unfinished business. Mr. Person.
Let's see, I have a committee report, I believe.
Okay, this is the committee report for the Committee of the Whole, Safe and Healthy Housing Rental Registration, docket number 118. The Committee of the Whole concurs with Staff and Planning Commission recommendation to adopt code changes to implement a rental registration program to ensure rental housing units meet basic health standards. This item was originally approved at the October 22nd, 2018 council meeting. However, it was tabled for additional review due to public comment. The committee further recommends that the revised ordinance, which addresses concerns raised, be presented for first reading. This is signed by the council president.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Person.
Along with this is, I did have a conversation with Mr. Harrison, that as we pass this tonight, that I would request that they come back with a plan, a spending plan, and how in implementing the plan before we start spending any money on it. Because it's changed somewhat since we had our budget approved. So with that, I move the ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
I think you got,
Or is it a resolution?
no, to approve
Oh,
the
the
report.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna pass it.
We're almost there.
I move the committee report be adopted as read.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the committee of the whole report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
I'm just trying to get out of here early.
Yeah, you're slowing us down. Mr. Prince.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Carmen.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pavoni.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Finance Committee has, I believe, 4 committee reports.
Okay. Finance Committee report, approval of claims and payroll vouchers. The Finance Committee approves the following payments. 1, accounts payable, total payments of $4,741,386.63 for vouchers 11118, 370987 through 370989, 371003 through 371357, and 1900202, and payroll benefit withholding vouchers 5965 through 5974, 370990 through 371002, and 3 wire transfers. 2, payroll, total payment of $2,899,636.35 for payroll vouchers, which includes 1,337 direct deposits and 24 checks. This is the December 16th through 31, 2018, and January 1st through 15, 2019 pay periods. And then 3, Kidder Matthews, total payment of $37,401.67 for vouchers 5797 through 5815. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, seconded by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the next is for issuance of local revitalization financing, LTGO bonds. The Finance Committee recommends issuance of LTGO bonds generating approximately $8.5 million in project proceeds funded by a local option sales and use tax to fund public infrastructure improvements in the South Lake Washington revitalization area. The committee further recommends that the ordinance regarding this matter be presented for first and advanced to second and final reading at tonight's meeting. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Pavoni, seconded by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the next report is utility billing adjustment. for Mr. Ping Lin. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the utility bill adjustment for water, sewer, and King County Metro-related charges from a water leak at the service address of 1531 North 3rd Street, account number 47005, as presented for the total amount of $5,004.53. The adjustment includes city water, $754.23, city sewer, $1,545.15, and King County Metro, $2,705.15, charges above their normal usage. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Pavoni, seconded by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the final Finance Committee report is bad debt write-off. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the administration to write off and remove from the city's accounting records bad debt in the amount of $20,278.27. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Pavoni, seconded by Mr. Prince, that council concur with Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, Ms. Perez.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. McKerven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Transportation Aviation Committee has 5 committee reports to present.
All right, the Transportation Aviation Committee report lease agreement with Rainier Flight Service LLC. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to, 1, authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute a lease agreement with Rainier Flight Service, Inc. for a 30-year term, which contains conditional provisions for redevelopment of the 800 and 820 parcels. And 2, authorize the mayor and city clerk to terminate the existing Rainier Flight Service, Inc. lease agreements, LAG 14005 and LAG 15005, effective May 31st, 2019, signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McKerven.
I move that the council concur with the recommendation of the Transportation Aviation Committee.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McKerven, seconded by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay. All right, the next agreement is with the Boeing Employees Flying Association, Addendum 1018. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute Addendum 10-18 to lease agreement LAG 001-87 with the Boeing Employees Flying Association to increase their leased square footage by 24,067 square feet. This is signed by the committee and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McKerven.
I move that the council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McKerven, second by Ms. Perez, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next is regarding a Title VI plan. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to adopt the resolution and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the Title VI plan. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McKerven.
I move that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McKerven, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the next report is regarding the WashDOT acquisition at I-405 and Northeast 44th Street interchange. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to, 1, authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute the WashDOT documents for the temporary easement and warranty deed and accept the compensation for same, and 2, authorize the disbursement of funds in the amount of $10,000 to King County as required repayment of grant funds for the King County's Conservation Futures Levy. The committee further recommends that the resolution regarding this matter be presented for reading and adoption, signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McKerven.
this is the corresponding action to the public hearing we had earlier tonight. So with this committee report would do what staff was asking at that public hearing. So I move that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McKerven, second by Mr. Pavoni, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the final report is regarding the Airport Master Plan Preferred Airside Alternative. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to 1, approve preferred airside alternative. Number 5, declared distances with EMAS, which is the Engineering Material Resting System, with North Shift to the Airport Master Plan update. And 2, authorize staff to brief the Federal Aviation Administration and proceed with drafting the airport layout plan design using the selected preferred airside alternative number 5, signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Berman.
it was a lengthy process that led to this committee report, but we are here to pass it today and move forward with number 5, although this is just moving us forward in the process, of course. So with that, I'd like to move that the Transportation Aviation Committee report be adopted.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to 4 resolutions and 5 ordinances.
Okay. First resolution is regarding an emergency declaration. Resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, declaring an emergency.
Mr. Mayor, I
I'm
move
sorry,
that,
was that Mr. Person?
yeah, that was me.
Okay.
I think it was me.
Is your mic on, Mr. Person? Sorry.
I move the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr. Prince, that the emergency declaration be adopted as read. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next resolution is regarding the WashDOT acquisition. All right, a resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the sale of a portion of city-owned parcel identified as King County parcel number 322-405-9010 to the State of Washington Department of Transportation, WashDOT, in relation to WashDOT's I-405 Renton to Bellevue widening and express toll lanes project, authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents to transfer title, and authorizing the repayment of $10,000 in grant funds to King County.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McGurven.
I move that the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Ms. Perez, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next is regarding the city's Title VI plan. Resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, adopting the City of Renton Title VI plan.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move that the resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the final resolution is regarding Council Policy 800-12, Contracting Authority. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, amending Council Policy 800-12.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Person.
I move the adopt a resolution as amended. Second.
Been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr. Corman, that this resolution be adopted as read. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay. Sorry. All right, the first ordinance for first reading is for townhouse review correction. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, amending maximum building height for vertically mixed-use buildings in the CA, Commercial Arterial Zoning designation, and subsection 42120-A of the Renton Municipal Code, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Prince.
I move this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Mr. Corman, that this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Let's see, the next ordinance for first reading is the rental registration and inspection program. Okay, an ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, adding section 45125 to the Renton Municipal Code to create a residential rental registration and inspection program, amending subsections 553A and 553B of the Renton Municipal Code to create exemptions from general business licensing, registration, and fee requirements, and providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
I
Person.
move the ordinance be advanced to second and final reading this evening. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Person, seconded by Mr. Corman, that this ordinance be placed on second and final reading at the next council meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the next ordinance is for first reading and advancement for second and final reading. It's regarding the bond for the local revitalization area. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the issuance of one or more series of limited tax general obligation bonds in the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $8,500,000 to finance costs related to public improvements within the city's designated local revitalization area, and to pay costs of issuing the bonds, providing the form, terms, and covenants of the bonds, delegating authority to approve the final terms of the bonds, and providing for other matters relating thereto.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the ordinance be advanced to the second and final reading at tonight's meeting.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that this ordinance be advanced to the second and final reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, I'm going to read it again. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the issuance of one or more series of limited tax general obligation bonds in the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $8,500,000 to finance costs related to public improvements within the city's designated local revitalization area, and to pay costs of issuing the bonds, providing the form, terms and covenants of the bonds, delegating authority to approve the final terms of the bond, and providing for other matters related thereto.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the ordinance be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that this ordinance be adopted as read. Requires a roll call.
Mr. Person,
Aye.
Mr. Prince,
Aye.
Mr. Corman,
Aye.
Mr. Pavoni,
Aye.
Ms. Perez,
Aye.
Mr. McIrvin.
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all ayes.
The ayes have it.
Okay. And we have two more ordinances for second and final reading. The first is the Wolf Woods annexation. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, annexing certain territory to the City of Renton, Wolf Woods annexation, file number A17002.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Prince.
I move the ordinance be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Ms. Perez, that this ordinance be adopted as read and requires a roll call.
Mr. Person,
Aye.
Mr. Prince,
Aye.
Mr. Corman,
Aye.
Mr. Pavoni,
Aye.
Ms. Perez,
Aye.
and Mr. McIrvin.
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all ayes.
The ayes have it.
All right, the final ordinance is the zoning for the Wolf Woods annexation. An ordinance of the City of Renton, Washington, establishing the zoning classification of certain property annexed within the City of Renton from R4 urban residential 4 dwelling units per acre King County zoning to R4 residential 4 dwelling unit per acre City of Renton zoning. This too is the Wolf Woods annexation, file number A17002.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Prince.
I move the ordinance be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Ms. Perez, that this ordinance be adopted as read and it requires a roll call.
Mr. Person,
Aye.
Mr. Prince,
Aye.
Mr. Corman,
Aye.
Mr. Pavoni,
Aye.
Ms. Perez,
Aye.
Mr. McIrvin.
Aye.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all ayes.
The ayes have it. Thanks, Jason. Moving on to new business, Mr. Person.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. First of all, next Monday, February 18th, the council is a council holiday in observance of President's Day, so there'll be no council meeting. And on February 25th this year, 6 p.m., Committee of the Whole meeting in the council chambers, Parks, Recreation, and Natural Areas update, King County Metro Rapid Ride I-Line introduction. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on Monday, February 25th at 5 p.m., the Planning and Development Committee will meet. We have 5 items on the docket. First is docket number 13. Second, Shoreline Master Program. Third, Shopping Cart Update. Fourth, Benson Hill Community Plan Advisory Board Appointment, Dawood. Fifth, Emerging Issues in CED. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Kerman.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Pavoni.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Ms. Perez.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Utilities Committee meeting that was going to take place on February 25th has been canceled.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McIrvin.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Alrighty. What's the wish of the council?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Mr. Pavoni, that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any opposition? Ayes have it. We're